What's going on, team? It's Caddy with Money Vesting. I hope that you all are having an amazing day. I am really sorry about this morning update. I tried to get the video out and I uploaded it like 6 times, but there was something wrong with the audio, as I'm sure some of you noticed, and I saw a few comments about the audio not working. And I was working all morning with the YouTube support team to resolve the issue, and by the time we got it fixed, it was a little too late for me to actually post the video. So again, I'm sorry about that. But that being said, I wanted to quickly go over some of the stocks and ETFs that we've been following very closely and kind of give you guys a midday market update. Starting off with Intel, ticker symbol INTC. Right now, you can see that it's up just about 1% on the day, trading at $48.78 as of the time of this video. And last week, I had analyzed this stock, essentially going over the fact that it's just been oversold all the way down to its support at $47, which is what we had recognized. And the RSI was also very oversold, trading as low as 15. And the MACD, you guys can see, it was pushing up higher. And the MACD line essentially crossed over the signal line for the first time in a while. And the MACD was also starting to push up higher as well. So that's kind of like the game plan. The $47 support is what I was watching very closely, and a break over the 9 EMA, which is going to be the white line you guys see on the chart. And then the resistance I have marked at $55 right up top here, based on previous patterns, because that has previously acted as a really strong level of support. So that can potentially start acting as a new resistance. So in the near term though, I do see a $51.50 resistance, because again, that has previously acted as some type of support going back as far as March 26th, when the stock essentially broke out of that level, pulled back, found support there before pushing up even higher. So that, in my opinion, could potentially be a resistance to watch very closely. I have my alerts set up at $49, $50, and the break over 51. So those are some of the levels that I will personally be watching very closely. So now we're going to jump over to SPY and QQQ ETF and kind of understand where the overall market is trading right now. Alright guys, so here we are inside S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY, and right now you can see that we are again pushing up higher, continuing that momentum from yesterday. The SPY ETF is up over 25 basis points, trading all the way as high as $329.61 as of the time of this video. And again, you guys can see that we are bouncing off of this support, which was previously acting as some type of resistance if you were to go back as far as July 21st, when we essentially pushed up all the way to that level and got sold off, pushed up again and found this as a really strong resistance at $329 to $328 levels. So we had this huge sell-off all the way down to $320, and then slowly and gradually we've made our way back to this level. And I think the S&P in general, the index, has even broken out of this resistance. So this resistance is from yesterday, which is going to be at $328.90, and the high for today is $329.64. So we have already broken out of yesterday's high. The only resistance we kind of need to break out of is going to be $329.68 to $330, which is where we are approaching right now. And the reason I mentioned that is if you were to pull back all the way from back in January, February, so you'll notice that that is kind of like the level that we were watching prior to this market update, is this level right here. So if you were to go back all the way, you'll notice that this has been a previous support. So going back as far as January 23rd, so we found support at the $330 level, and then as soon as we break below that level, we push up higher and find a resistance right there. So that's kind of like the level that I am watching very closely. Right there you can see that we had found a resistance at that level and then another support going back as far as January 23rd. So if you were to push up and see where the S&P is trading now, you'll notice that we are just approaching that resistance at $329 to $330. So I would be very cautious. Just manage your risk appropriately as you see fit. I wouldn't be surprised if you do see a minor pullback towards the end of the day and the S&P essentially getting rejected at that level. So now we're going to jump over to QQQ, which is going to be ticker symbol QQQ, and it is an ETF that follows and tracks the NASDAQ index. And NASDAQ essentially hit an all-time high yesterday. You guys can see that we finally broke above kind of like this triple top that we've been following. So all these 3 circles are level of resistance, which are sitting at 269 to 270 level. And right now you can see that we finally hit that level again, and we are kind of pulling back on the 1-hour chart. So that's something that I will personally be watching again very closely towards the end of the day. I would not be surprised if you see some type of a sell-off take place and come down to the support at $266 level. level, which is going to represent a drop of close to about 88 to 90 basis points. Right now, the NASDAQ is down about 10 basis points, and you'll see some type of a sector rotation today because American Airlines, CVS, ExxonMobil, AT&T, Boeing, Verizon, Visa, some of those other companies are actually doing well as opposed to tech, which you can see that Google is down, Zoom, Microsoft, they're all kind of selling off from yesterday. So that's definitely the reason why NASDAQ is down and the S&P is higher. But that being said, they're both approaching some type of resistance that I will personally be watching very, very closely. So now we're going to jump over to Workhorse, ticker symbol WKHS. And again, we've been following up with this, in the past couple of days. Yesterday, I made a video about it when they did a merger, when Lordstown Motors announced a merger and they were going to be doing a SPAC and going public under ticker symbol RIDE. Based on that news, you can see Workhorse finally broke out of this resistance at $18, which we were following up with very closely, and ran up over 28 and 28.5%, trading all the way as high as $19 to $20 level. So this right here is going to be after hours. So if you were to kind of pull back on the chart, you'll notice that this right here is $18, which we were following as a resistance yesterday. We finally break out of this level, and the next resistance was sitting at 20. Because of the fact that the pattern essentially got rejected here going back as far as June 30th, right? So we hit that level, got rejected, and then pulled back all the way down to $14 support. So that was the next resistance we are watching right now is going to be $20, and you can see how we are getting rejected at that level, and we finally break below the $18 mark once again. So now the next resistance is going to continue to sit at $18 because we are now below that price point, and the next support I'm going to be watching is right on the dot at $16 because that has previously acted as some type of support going back as far as July 22nd and then even further on July 14th. So that's kind of like the breakdown for Workhorse. Now looking at Microsoft, because again they're in talks with acquiring TikTok, you can see that after this huge push up of over 8% from previous days, you can see that there's a lot of weakness coming in from Microsoft now. It's selling off, and that was kind of like the resistance we were following at $216.55, because if you were to kind of scroll back, you'll notice that we have previously gone rejected at that level going back as far as July 9th, and then quite almost at that level on July 13th, where we saw some type of rejection at that level. So Microsoft did hit an all-time high yesterday, I think close to $217.64, and now you can see that we are just aggressively kind of pushing downwards, and there is some profit taking and sector rotation just happening right now. So the next support I'm going to be watching is going to be close to around here, which is around $208 level, because that has previously acted as some type of support. You guys can go back as far as July 21st, so you can see how we were just consolidating in between that area before breaking below that. So that can potentially act as an ongoing support if the pattern or the price were to retrace down to that level, and that is going to represent a drop of close to another 1% from its current level. Last but not least, I want to quickly go over Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. And again, we've been following up with this pattern as well. You guys can see that this right here was kind of like the analysis of Amazon stock finding support at 2885 to 2900 level. And then it ran up all the way to 3270 or its resistance at 3250 level, which we have previously recognized. And that's what this red rectangle represents. So we got rejected there, and then we kind of started to sell off. And right now it's still pushing downward. So it's making lower highs and lower lows. I do personally see that's 200 moving average acting as some strong support, and where the pattern is trading right now, which is going to be right here at 3080 level, acting as some type of support as well, because that has previously acted as some type of resistance here as well, going back as far as July 7th, and then started acting as some really strong resistance here before we finally break out on these strong earnings that came out last week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my quick technical breakdowns on SPY and QQQ ETF, along with some other stocks that I wanted to address and bring to your guys' attention, and look at the key support and resistance levels for them as well. Again, I do apologize for this morning. I'm not sure why the audio was not working, but that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to drop a like. It really helps out with the channel. Also subscribe if you're new, and make sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future market updates and videos related to investing and technical breakdowns. As always, happy investing, and I will see you guys in the next video.